Hello everyone. It's been suggested that I do a midweek devotional of some kind, and actually I sent one out to our smaller mailing list this past week, and so I want to share that. It's from Psalm 23, and it's amazing to me how some seemingly old-fashioned scriptures apply today. Our own life and what we're experiencing here in these times, these very different and difficult times. Now, the devotion that I sent out, I borrowed from someone else. Years ago, when I was a student at Southwestern Seminary, one of the guest speakers was another student, and he told us as he was explaining about he was about to graduate and going to move to California and start a church. It was Saddle Ridge or Camelback, something like that. His name was Richard. And we thought, well, you know, that'll be interesting. And yeah, a lot of us have high hopes and big dreams, and his were humongous dreams of what he was going to do. Well, Richard, or Rick Warren, actually did what he told us he was going to do. And marvelous man of God. In Psalm 23, let me just go through the verses and share with you just very, very brief comments that Rick added on to these verses. The first verse, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in the green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul." First of all, God will meet your needs. When? When you're worried. And a lot of people are worried during this time. He's our shepherd. It says, "I shall not lack." I read a story, was not from Rick, but I read a story about a young boy that was just gluttonous when he ate. And his mother wanted to break him of that. One of the things he loved to eat were pancakes. So she just called him in one morning and said, "Son, I'm going to make pancakes one after another, and you can have all you want today. There's no limit. No limit." He was so excited. And she cooked and cooked, and he ate and ate and ate. And after a while, she said, "Son, do you want another pancake?" He said, "Mom, I don't even want the ones I just ate." He learned his lesson. Well, God provides for us, and even this time of worry, He's good. He's going to provide what we need. Another thing, He will teach us to relax when we're stressed out. There in verse 2 it says, "He'll make me lie down in the green pastures, leads me beside" what kind of waters? The quiet waters. So it's peace God can provide during this very difficult time. Some of us need to learn to relax. We think with all this shutdown and everything, everyone's relaxed and just sitting around and waiting, but that is not the case. Many of us feel responsible for a lot of people. We need to relax. Pastor Rick said, "God will replenish your strength when you're empty." That's from verse 3. He will do what with our soul? Restore our soul. And we need that replenishment. In the midst of this pandemic, a lot of people are just basically out of gas. We are running, as Pastor Rick says, we're running on fumes because we need to be refilled and renewed. God promises to give to us a resilience, a way that we can face the troubles that we're dealing with. Goes on with, in verse 3, "God will guide you when you're confused." Verse 3 says, "He guides me along the right paths." Why? For His name's sake. So indecision, not knowing what we're to do next, or not knowing what's going to happen next, yeah, that is stressful. But we need to trust in God and not worrying about challenges that are in the future. Let God take care of us throughout each day. Another point, God will walk with you in your dark and fearful days. Verse 4 says, Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? For you are with me. Who's with me? God is with me. Your rod, your staff, they comfort me. So, even during fearful days, God's with us. It's been a very tough last couple of months, and it's not over with yet. We need God's help. He'll walk with us. God also will protect us when we feel insecure. That's also there in verse 4 about the rod and staff, His comfort. Those are tools of a shepherd, someone who cares for the sheep. And God is caring for us, protecting us, guarding us. God will publicly show His favor in your life as another point. In verse 5, it talks about preparing a table before our enemies. And God is being on our side. He's not just showing favor to us, but He will even protect us. And I believe that we need to pray for protection even against the virus. God will be good to you no matter what happens. Look in verse 6. It says, Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Many translations use that term, follow me. A better translation and an accurate translation would be pursue, pursue. So goodness and mercy will not just be following along me, it'll actually pursue me. Good, mercy. We need that. You might feel like, well, I can't count on anything right now. Things are so different. But you can count on the goodness of God. I guarantee that. Other people may not be good to you in the future, but God will. You can count on God being consistent no matter what happens. And one last thing. God will take you to heaven one day. All people who have believed in Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior have an expectation of a home in heaven. Doesn't matter what's going on here. That is a certainty that we can depend upon. The last part of Psalm 23, the Shepherd's Psalm, says, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And it's a guarantee. No matter what the experience is here on earth, God has promised to us an eternal home for all who will put their trust in Him. I encourage you to do that during this time of coronavirus, and I encourage you to do the same thing after this is all over. And I believe it will be over at some point. May God bless you today, and trust in Him, look into His Word, pray more, read the Bible more, and check us out at Central Baptist Church, and our website is centralalameda.org. If we can be of any spiritual or physical help for you, please contact us.